Hi guys, it's Erica and today we're going to be talking about grow lights. Now this is going to be a very basic overview. It's just going to be very surface level. If you want a more scientific and in-depth approach, I would highly recommend to look at cannabis growing channels because they get really intense with their grow light science and all of that good stuff. But this video is going to be more geared towards people like me who have houseplants. Probably if you are subscribed to my channel, you fall into this category and you might have ran out of space in your windows or your house is pretty dark. Like I ran out of space in my windows and my house is pretty dark. So that is why I have my grow light set up here. So if that's the kind of video you're interested in, then keep on watching. So I think the first thing that we should start off talking about is what kind of light bulb to get. So there are mainly two readily available options, which are fluorescent bulbs or LED lights. And personally, I think that LED lights are the way to go, just pretty much for like what we need them for. LEDs are perfect. They don't get too hot, so they're not going to burn your plants. They're very energy efficient, so your electricity bill is not going to be through the roof from having your lights on 12 hours a day. And they don't burn out for kind of a long time, like years. So for that reason, I think LEDs are like, just get an LED light. And then the next issue is deciding on whether to get like a white light or those really bright violet blurple, I think they're called blurple lights. And those are the blurple lights are very intense for your eyes. These ones are kind of intense too. Like I have them in my bedroom, so they kind of keep me up for longer because looking at them just keeps your mind awake, if that makes sense. So they're both in their own way kind of like, whoa. But definitely if you haven't seen a purple/blue light in person, they kind of do mess with your eyes a little bit. So if you are deciding to put your lights in an area where you're frequently going to be looking at, then I would recommend getting these white lights. There's not a difference in how they help to grow your plant unless you are like growing plants for a reason. So like, you know, like the cannabis people, they most likely have blurple lights because it's more efficient for whatever they're growing. You know what I mean? But we're just here to grow our plants, keep them alive. They will still bloom under these lights and grow under these lights. It's fine. It used to be like a year ago when I first started looking into grow lights, there was mostly only the purple and blue lights available. And it was kind of difficult to find a reasonably priced white one. But now there are so many options for white grow lights or the purple and red grow lights that if the purple and red, if that's not your vibe, then you can totally get white grow lights and it's gonna be fine for your plants. They're gonna grow, they're gonna love it. Even though these are not specifically grow lights, my plants are still doing fine. They grow, they flower, and they love it under there. Of course, like there are no grow lights that can completely replace the sun. So I will switch out my plants in here and I will put them in windows or I'll take them outside because I like to put my plants outside so that they can get some real sunlight because nothing beats real sunlight. So when you have the chance, when it comes to spring and summer again, then you can take your plants outside so they could breathe in the fresh air, get some real sunlight. But for now, since it's winter, they can just live under the grow lights. They'll be fine. So now that we've settled that, LED or fluorescent lights, it doesn't matter which one to choose. The blue lights or the white lights, it doesn't matter which one to choose. Now, once you're looking up grow lights, the ideal lights that you would want, you would have to look at the PPFD. But those tend to be kind of like, they're really bulky for what I think our purposes are, like to put them on shelves, to maybe hang a light from the ceiling, to maybe put it in a lamp that we have instead of like a regular light, at least make it a grow light. If you look for the most efficient grow lights, they often come in like really bulky setups. So if you look up grow lights with high PPFD, then because that's really what is going to be the best grow light, then you're gonna see that's this whole bulky thing. So that's kind of not what I look for when I look for grow lights. And this is technically not correct, but it works for our purposes. So you want 6,500 Kelvin as the color temperature. And that color temperature is essentially just bluish white light. Like this is 65, I think it's around, yeah, it's 6,500 Kelvins. Kelvin is just the color of the light. So if you have a warm yellow light, which is usually what you have around in your home, then that is not good enough for the plants. 6,500 is supposed to mimic the actual sunlight. If you get a light that is bright, it's called white light, sunlight. There's different names for it, but it's usually around 6,500 Kelvin. That is perfect. Next, the other important thing is the lumens, which is the intensity of the light that we see. So you want it to be around 1,800 lumens. This, for example, I think is around 1,600 lumens, so it's pretty bright light. And you want it to be bright so that the plant doesn't have to be super close to light. If you get a really low lumen, then that light is not going to be really bright and you're going to have to put your plant really close to the light. For this one, like I said, it's around 1,600, so I can keep the plant like a foot away. So that's what you want to look for if it's not a grow light per se. You want the 6,500 at least Kelvin, and then around 1,800 lumens. And that's going to be perfect for our needs. And like I said, it's not technically right. Like it's not going to be the most efficient, but it's going to suit. Like we're going to be able to find a light that actually fits our space. You can find a lot of light bulbs to just like plug into a regular lamp. Like that's what I do. I have grow lights in my regular lamp so I can keep plants around it. So that's for if you're not looking at specific grow lights, which is like how I found these lights. But now that there's like a ton of options for grow lights, then I would recommend just typing in like grow lights on Amazon. And then I'm going to show you the two ones that I'm looking at that could be for because I have a new shelf. That's why I've been looking into grow lights again. So you can look up grow lights on Amazon. I'm going to link down the options that I would look at. But they don't really say like all their measurements, like they won't give you the PARP and all of that stuff that's important. So what I look at is I look at the, this is gonna sound like so like duh, but look at the reviews for the lights and be careful of the reviews you look at because a lot of them could be fake reviews. So I'm gonna link down the ones that I'm gonna put in my new shelf. Also, I feel like a lot of grow lights like kind of put watts in the title, which watts doesn't really have anything to do with how effective the light is or anything like that. Watts literally just measures how much energy the light is using. So you don't need to worry about how many watts the light says that it has. You kind of just want to look at the lumens because lumens is usually what they give you, even though that's not the right value. Just look at how many lumens it produces so that you know how bright the light is. And then someone asked if I could kind of list like different lights for like a budget. But so I'll kind of link lights like that. If you just want like a light bulb, there's ones on Amazon that I'm going to start using for my regular lamps. I can link the ones I already have. They're pretty cheap too. And then for the medium price range, it's actually, I think it's a pretty like good for what you're getting. But I'm going to like similar to the lights I have here, but they're grow lights and they have everything you need to kind of create this setup. I had to buy everything separately, but they come with like the sticky pads to stick it to the top or however you want to set it up. It kind of comes with all that. And then it also has like a shield on the sides of the light so that the light is more directed towards the plants. These ones do not have shields, so like I'm blasted with light all the time. So I think those shields are going to be really great. I'll have those as the moderate, even though they're pretty well priced for like what you're getting. It's still like $100. For the high budget, these are grow lights that I would love to have, but they are so expensive. Like this light is one that I would love to have. It's $200 though, which is more than how much my lighting system costs already for this whole entire shelf. There's like 8 lights on here and a bunch of cords and everything, and it's still less expensive than that light, but it's a good light. It's beautiful. It's very aesthetically pleasing, which is kind of hard to find. Okay? Kind of hard to find an aesthetically pleasing grow light that's like works really well. Another light that I really would love to have is the Modern Sprout Grow Bar, because it is so pretty, but it's like $100 for one bar. And like I said, $100 is what I paid for all of these bars. So it is very pricey. Like, to fully stock the shelf, it would be like $800, more than $800. So yeah, it's really on the high price side. If you're only getting one, maybe it's worth it because it is so sleek and like beautiful. It also connects to your phone, so you can like do all that stuff on your phone. Those are 2 lights that I would love to have, but they're way out of my budget. So hopefully that covers all 3 levels. I almost forgot to cover how long to keep the grow lights on. So you want to keep them on for like 12 to 16 hours a day. I personally keep mine on for 12 hours a day, so they'll turn on at 9 a.m. and then they will turn off at 9 p.m. And I have them on a timer, so I don't have to manually do it myself. It's not a smart device, like it doesn't connect to my phone or anything. It's just like a really basic timer. It's so easy to set up, and you just leave it. It just does its thing on its own. Since winter is coming up, you can use grow lights to supplement the light that your plants would have been getting. So like if you live in, I don't know, Seattle. I hear Seattle is rainy. Don't really know though. So it sounds like they have a lot of overcast days. If you just want like a little grow light to add on, then you can do that. You can be by your window and still have grow lights, because like I said, it's best if you have the sun. Like nothing will beat the actual sun. I hope that covers everything. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna have everything linked down below so you can know where to find it. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!